probably around 2014, we started buying in Texas, specifically, DFW, Plano area. And that was right before Toyota and FedEx and Liberty Mutual and everybody moved in. So on those properties, again, we kind of did the same, put down 20%. They've doubled in value. So we got 400, 500, 600% returns on those properties. Then we did cash out refinances, bought other ones, and they've doubled and gotten 400 or 500% returns.
Welcome back to The Real Grind, guys. If you're watching, tuning in for the first time, stick around because we talk about multifamily investing. We talk about single family investing. We talk about investing in mobile parks. We invested about all kinds of things that's related to real estate. But at the meantime, what do, Italo?
We invest in good coffee.
Invested in good tasting coffee. That's
we
good.
do. We invest our time, everything in good coffee while having all those amazing conversations.
Do you like coffee? Stick around because you get people here that sometimes doesn't like coffee. And it's interesting that they had it for the first time because I brag to say that we drink coffee the right way.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get that show started. This is The Real Grind. Let's go.
Waking up to success. Now we're getting it started. This is The Real Grind. Everything you've been wanting, building an empire, no question. Talking about real estate, investing, making the millions, no stopping. While we sip on gourmet coffee. The Real Grind. This is The Real Grind. Let's go.
And today's guest, he is a real estate investor and a financial expert with over 25 years of experience. Transitioned from single family to multifamily, and he's a husband and father of 3 beautiful children. Welcome on the stage, Jeff Johnson. Let's go. Hey, my brother, let's go. What a fancy name, Jeff Johnson. It means respect. Love the jacket, man. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thanks for inviting me.
You were just in our office the other day, man.
I
get two times this hangout time, man. This is amazing.
The privilege is all mine, for sure.
How you been, my friend?
Doing great.
Thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you. Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, brother, start with us by sharing a little bit about your beginnings, man. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up? Where were you?
Yeah, so originally from Southwest Ohio.
Right.
Grew up economically challenged. And so family of 6.
I don't know what that is, man.
Family of 6. My dad worked at the steel mill for 28 years. Hard worker. And, we're really just ingrained with a lot of like hard work ethic and morals and doing the right thing and family and that kind of stuff. So actually how I kind of got started in real estate, one of my buddies, his dad was a general contractor and asked if one day if I wanted to come help him out. I was probably 14 years old. And I said, yeah, absolutely. Like I would love to make some money. And so our job was cleaning out the basement of a fourplex that they just bought. Okay, so in Ohio, they got fourplex basement, big full basements. But the funny thing is, I remember going to the house. I still remember. We went down the stairs, but then like you couldn't get into the basement because it was full of just stuff, just garbage, trash. Just the former person was a hoarder.
Oh my God!
And so my job and Joey's job was to carry all that out and fill up a dump truck.
What we call in multifamily, that was the trash outs.
Trash outs, absolutely. And then so the really cool thing. While we were taking a break or eating lunch or whatever, I'd ask him all kinds of questions like, hey, well, tell me more about this. Like, why are you buying a 4-family? Like, you guys got a house. And he's like, no, it's an investment. I'm like, what do you mean? And so he's like, hey, the bottom 2 units will pay for the mortgage. And then, the top 2 will just be like money every month. And I'm like, so you don't have to do anything. They just pay you the money for living there and you pay the bank and put it in your pocket. He was like, yeah. I was like, I'm doing this. I was like, I don't know how, but I'm doing it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so there we go. So then a couple years later, I kept working for him and got started in construction. And so it was a general labor. Then he, got promoted and he let me carry a hammer. So I did a little bit of carpentry work. And then ultimately we ended up helping out building some different houses. So I got exposure to everything from, electrical, drywall, plumbing, roofing, hanging doors, windows, concrete, all that kind of stuff, which was great then for, later on down the road when we start having some properties.
There's, for when people usually start on the construction side, at least for a little bit, man, you need to learn, but you learn a lot of the fundamentals, right?
Yeah.
And look, it trains your eye to see certain things that even if you're an investor or not, unless if you're a really hands-off investor, that you have to hire everything. But it's a very important thing. And how does that help today?
Yeah, so no, it's great because we've been in single family since 2007 and multifamily for 3 years. But as far as like any type of repairs, I know enough to kind of call BS when something doesn't need to be fixed, but they say that it does, or if something's just not done properly.
Right.
So that really helps out a lot, and then also just with like knowing how much things cost. So that really, and labor and materials and those types of things help
Right.
out exponentially.
And a little bit before the real estate, talked a little bit about your professional career. How'd you get there?
Yeah. So I have a degree in business management with a minor in marketing. And after school, started working for actually an investment company called the Franklin, where I got fully licensed with my Series 6 and life and health license. And honestly, would start off with friends and family and go door knocking.
Door knocking.
Door knocking, yeah. So we were selling retirement plans and different things. So it was straight commission, and started off, had some really good months. Actually, as an intern, I was in the top 10% in the country for my sales. So like that's pretty good. And then some of the policies canceled.
Really?
So when you're straight commission, they front you that first year's commission, but they've got to pay it the whole year. And so when you get it, you get a free look with insurance policies. And so they canceled. And they're like, hey, give me those, like, give me that money.
You gotta
back.
get the money
You gotta
back.
get the money back. And
Really?
I'm
I
like,
did not know that.
yeah. So it's like it was funny or not that hey, top 10% in the country, but then I just went in the negative for like the next month of pay. And so I was like, all right, I need to actually make some money. Had lots and lots of student loans. So then I started working for a finance company, which is where ultimately I met my wonderful wife and business partner, Carrie. And so that was the best thing that came out of it. But so at the finance company, learned to, sales, taking applications, underwriting, approving, and then actually closing loans and servicing them. So when you service loans, you realize there's a big difference in just lending out money and actually getting people to pay you back. So we would have
So
to.
you were the part of the underwriters for
yeah.
loans?
Yes, we did loan underwriting, everything from personal loans, car loans, second mortgages, first mortgages, lines of credit.
So in the other day, you're talking about there's 3 components that approval for a loan. What was that again? It was
Character, credit, and capacity. Actually, credit, capacity, and collateral. So
Okay.
if they don't have bad credit, they're not going to pay you. If they don't have the capacity, they can want to pay you all day long, but they don't have no money, you're not going to get paid either. And then ultimately, what's the collateral? So, we think, hey, you've got
if they don't
an
can you
apartment
go-
complex,
yeah.
we'll go up, 75%, 65% loan to
leverage.
value, something like that.
Very cool, man. It's interesting. I was never involved in my entire life until I was an adult to this world of financing and mortgaging and anything. So it's new to me,
Yeah, absolutely.
And from there, Jeff, and tell how you met your wife. That's an awesome story.
Which part?
You went back and you show up.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
I love
cool.
that story.
All
I
right.
love that story.
Oh, man. So I was working in a Cincinnati branch.
Okay.
And it was a big office. I was like, the youngest one there and learning the ropes, those kinds of things. And then in that office, they didn't care what time you came into work. And so, manager usually came in like at 8:30, would work till, whatever, 5:30, something like that. But the others, especially the senior folks, would come in like at 9:30, even 10, but then they would work until just later in the evening, 6:30 or 7 o'clock, because we did collections. And the manager actually preferred that you stay later because people are home.
People got me home.
They answer the phone, and you can, make arrangements for, people to pay. And so, anyways, I got transferred to be the senior person in this branch where Carrie worked. And nobody told me anything would be any different there. And so, I think they said, hey, Monday be there at 8:30 or whatever. So I did. The next day, I came in about 9:45, walked in and, said, hey guys, what's up? Good morning. I noticed that they were all sitting at their desks working, but it was like, man, wow, he got started
People
early
show up
today.
early.
Yeah, and so Wednesday comes along, and I come in like at 9:30 or something, and kind of the same thing, right? Thursday comes along, and again, I show up at 9, whatever, and the manager says, "Hey Jeff, can I see you in the back?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Like,
I'm in trouble
let's go
already.
talk. Yeah, I didn't even realize it was like going in the back was like the bad thing, right?
Yeah.
So I go back and he says, "Hey Jeff," he's like, "Why are you coming in late every day?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like, I've been here early every day. Like, I came in Monday at 9:15. I worked from 9:30 to 6:30. Tuesday I came in at 9:20 and worked 9:30 to 6:30, etc." He was like, "No, here we start at 8:30 every day." And I was like, "Oh, nobody told me."
Oh, shit.
So Carrie and the other folks that there thought, man, who's this jerk walking in like 45 minutes late? They'd already been working for a long time. And here he is, walking
But did
in
you
like
walk with
everything's great.
confidence?
Oh, absolutely.
There you go,
Yeah.
man.
They're like,
That's
who
what
is
it
he,
matters,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Walk with confidence, and that's why they taught you're the jerk.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
awesome,
That's,
man.
no,
That's
it's just
awesome
misunderstanding. Yeah.
Yeah, and from the jerk became love of her life.
That's
and
right.
Vice versa. That's awesome, dude. But we want to hear a little bit after this segment. We want to hear about how'd you get to the real estate now, man. How was your first property? I know you've been involved heavily for a long time, but before, guess what time it is?
What time's that?
It's coffee time.
All right. My favorite time.
Jeff, thanks for coming by, man.
My pleasure.
He's gonna get coffee with us twice in a week.
I know.
Privileged.
Love it.
Might
Love
turn
it.
into a habit.
But it was cool though. Like this week when you had coffee with us, you told me that you drink coffee, but you never had this type of coffee before.
You're right.
That's awesome. Are we making you change to the?
You are, I'm definitely intrigued, and I need some more education, though, right? It's like whether you're doing real estate or coffee, you got to get the education to learn how to do it,
Just make a crash course.
Earlier he was seeing the whole setup. I was like, I don't know if you're making coffee here, man, because it's all like the siphon in there and everything. It looks like an episode of Breaking Bad in a way, But I told him, it's weird. I don't want to say come to the dark side because it's the lighter side. Because the dark side is Folgers and all that. So come to the lighter side, and there's good stuff out there, man.
It is good stuff,
There's
for
good
sure.
stuff out there. But this episode is sponsored by F Monday. So again, for all of you at home that always ask us, where do we get our coffee? We get our coffee from amazing people, but these amazing people are small and mighty. And this is a chance for them to be on a shelf, to be somewhere that people can see them. So this time around, bringing these guys back in here to this episode because we showed them in one episode. These guys are from Brazil, and he messaged me later because usually we always like sponsoring people as per like featuring them. And he messaged me on Instagram a couple weeks ago. He's like, "Can you believe that I'm trying to send coffee to Texas?" I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Because somebody saw on your episode and now they're trying to buy it from me."
Nice.
It's like mission accomplished,
That's
so
awesome.
This is from them in here. Their coffee is amazing. Such beautiful people. Their story behind their coffee is amazing as well. And this is the whole point of F Monday. That's why we're doing this. So if you're at home, fmonday.com or F Monday Coffee on Instagram, and you're gonna see everything you need to know about what's the current coffee that we're drinking, what's the best coffee that we're drinking. So go check it out. With no further ado, let's try their coffee.
That's right.
Let's try it. So, yeah, let's give this to you, make it easier here. No
Thank you very
saucer.
much.
Let's go straight to it. So give it that good smell.
Yes, can smell some body.
Let's see. This,
Excellent.
so the other coffee that we have from them was on the lighter version of this. Very, very much lighter. But I still like it. So their coffee is actually really good. People there at home, check it out. Do you like it?
So definitely a coffee that I would take it more with that espresso. It's a little bit more of a heavier,
Bolder.
bolder to
Yeah.
it. It's good. I wouldn't necessarily say that it would be my favorite drink in this setup at a V60 because I like more of a fruity forward, more of a lighter
Absolutely.
coffee. but it's still a good taste.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, they're amazing people. Whatever kind of notes you like on the coffee, they will have the right coffee for you. And
I have a question for Jeff. Jeff, when you're working on corporate, what was the worst day of the week?
Mondays.
So the reason we put this brand is to empower entrepreneurs, people that would like to, I think both of us, man, we drink this Kool-Aid of, the apartment investing, retire from corporate, and that's why we did this coffee with Danone.
That's awesome.
To feature producers that is smaller producers that have a good craft, because we own a small coffee farm, but my cousins as well. And you see the amount of work they put into it, and it's a very competitive world to come out and be out there. So we're gonna help them out, all the people that does a good job on cultivating the coffee and all that works, and also to empower people now on the other side, entrepreneurs, man, to follow your dreams, follow your stuff like that. So
love it. No, this is really fantastic coffee. It goes down super smooth. I'm used to the store stuff, right? So this is great. I think it's lighter than actually what I drank this morning. I'll tell you that.
Right on.
And it's smooth. It goes down really nice.
And that's the cool thing I was telling you about this type of coffee. Like, if you like it a little lighter, I can just change the recipe and I can make the same coffee lighter for you, or you can make it into espresso. If you get just a store-bought coffee, it's water and coffee. That's it. There's no way around it. So if you like good coffee, man, like I told you, you know the way to the coffee corner now. So any time of the week you come by and I'll teach you anything you need to know about that coffee, man, about making good coffee.
I'll have to sign up for your mentorship.
Hey, let's do it. Let's do it. But before I go, Neander, can you reach out over there?
Sure.
So now when you have coffee at home, you can check it out here. It's a little something for you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And so whenever you're having a tough day or something, just pop up that yellow in there and you'll be rocking one of these.
Cool.
Right on.
Awesome.
All right, brother. I want to hear more about your story. Thank you so much for coming, having coffee again with us.
Thank you.
And if you need more, you know how to find me. Let's
Awesome.
go.
Welcome to the corporate world, a place you go to every day against your will, with endless meetings. And worst of all, shitty coffee. Introducing Fuck Monday, a specialty coffee for those who want to kickstart the week with a better taste. A reminder to do your own thing or go after what's brewing in your head. Unless you're thinking of reading tarot cards for dogs or other dumb ideas like that. For everyone else, Fuck Monday, your daily dose of attitude.
All right, Mr. Jeff, what was you have server house, a single family, and that's how you started, right?
Yep.
With that desire of freedom, and since your early days, how was it to buy your first rental property?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Great question. So read a lot of books, lots and lots of books, was definitely motivated. Had never, you never know how to do anything until you do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so we were, Carrie and I'm very aggressive. She's more conservative. And so she was very leery about doing rentals and being rental properties and property owners and all these kinds of things. And gosh, what happens if they don't pay, et cetera, et cetera. And so we found a great mentor, Art Russo in Columbus, Ohio. Art had over 100 properties and been doing it for years and years and years. And he's also a very successful realtor. And so anyway, he was our first real estate mentor and helped us out. And he was like, look, I got the perfect house for you. We just recently remodeled it. And we had a tenant move in who got relocated due to one of the tropical storms. And FEMA is making the payment. So the government it's coming in. The payment will be here guaranteed. You don't have to worry about collections, et
That
cetera,
was
et cetera,
in Ohio.
That was in Ohio. Yeah.
Is that Ohio landlord friendly? State?
I don't know as it
Columbus,
compares
Ohio,
to. I think so.
It is. Yeah, Columbus, Ohio. It is a landlord friendly state.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume the whole state is a state, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we still have that same property.
You still have
We
it?
still
How
have
many
it, yeah.
years later? Or-
17 years.
wow.
Yeah, so we've had we
Same
moved down
tenant?
here.
No.
No,
No, same
lots of
tenant.
different tenants.
Okay.
But we moved down here in 2009. And so everybody knows what happens to housing values in 2009.
Yeah.
And so we had a couple of single families, and we're like, gosh, what do we do? Would we sell them, not sell them? I'm like, I'm not selling them at a giant loss. Like, screw that. So it's like, look,
Kept it.
we're fine because we're cash flow positive. The tenants will continue to make the payments. The balance will continue to come down, and we're fine as long as we don't panic, right? Let's just like keep on keeping on, and then we'll know as the further you go, the further you can see,
Yeah.
right?
So the house was trade investment property. It
Yep.
wasn't like it was yours and a lot of people start in different ways. Like some people, oh, this is my residence. I moved out, put tenants on. This was legitimate investment property
Yeah.
with even had tenants on.
Yeah,
That's awesome, dude.
yeah.
And you get finance or put that on it. Or,
Yeah. So we got, interestingly enough, on that one at the time, and they were doing the 90-10. So we did a 90% first mortgage and then a 10% second. So we bought it with no money out of our pockets. And again, this is one of those things you hear about different stories and those kinds of things, but we really didn't even know that we could do that until we just started down that trail, and they offered that. And then we bought our second property was similar as a short sale, but we had a line of credit. We had to put some kind of percent down, but we took it from the line of credit,
Yeah.
and then got a mortgage on it. We saw that property too. And essentially bought both of them with no money out of our pocket, and we've had them now for 17 years.
and how many single family properties did you accumulate over the years?
Yeah, so we've
Or you
we bought and
transact-
sold
because I know
some.
you
We've done a
sold,
couple
yeah.
of flips and some different things like that. But about a dozen right now.
Really cool, man.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's incredible.
Thank you.
And you still have a couple, right?
Yeah, so they do really well. We were very fortunate in that probably around 2014 we started buying in Texas, and specifically DFW Plano area, and that was right before Toyota and FedEx and Liberty Mutual and everybody moved in. So on those properties, again, we kind of did the same, put down 20%. They've doubled in value, so we got 400, 500, 600% returns
Wow.
on those properties. Then we did cash out refinances, bought other ones, and they've doubled and gotten 400 or 500% returns.
It's amazing.
So we've
Feeling the
done-
returns, man. It's like,
It's spoiled us for sure, but it's been very lucrative.
and what was the pivotal point for the multifamily side?
It was we had a problem, and the problem was we had a lot of equity in a lot of properties, and I thought, I don't have enough time to continue buying different properties and doing cash out refinances. Like, I need to do something a lot bigger. And so we started looking into multifamily. So, we went from, I think our biggest purchase was probably about 250,000 for the single family, and then, scaled up to about 10 million.
That's the power of multifamily. So what was your first multifamily property, man? And how was that like? Because now, were you involved on the beginning pieces of underwriting, on the stuff?
Yeah. So with our underwriting background, I've had a knack for numbers, just with being in banking and managing P&Ls for a really long time. So started, obviously networking, meeting a lot of different folks, and just underwriting deals. And then we started making offers. So this was 2020, COVID time.
Yeah.
Not too much was on the market. Then things kind of opened up a little bit. 2021, some more stuff got out on the market with a lot of bridge debt, et cetera, et cetera. So we just started making offers on things, and then made an offer, and they accepted it. And like, wow, we're going to be general partners, and I'm going to be the lead.
That's amazing. Did you invest before passively in other deals?
Yeah, we did invest in a couple of other deals passively, but just with our experience in single family.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
we manage our own rentals, so we've got the management. I've managed dozens and dozens of bank branches, so like the P&L, managing people,
Yeah.
property manager, all those kinds of things. I felt really good about. So I was totally comfortable being a
So
general
you now
partner.
acted in three multifamily deals?
Yeah. So yeah.
Very good,
Yeah.
man. And what
Thank
is
you.
the what is the growth pattern for you on the multifamily?
Yeah,
More single
well,
families or
Yeah, both.
or
So I think there's a couple of things that we've learned. I mean, it's great to be invested in different asset classes.
right?
So we also do some stuff in oil and gas. We've looked at a number of different storage facilities to
Charging,
buy.
yeah.
Probably do like a syndication on those, as well as mobile home parks and different things. So um, it's good to be in different industries
Right.
as well. So we're going to continue to look in multifamily and purchase there. We're going to continue to grow, and we've figured out a really nice niche with the single families. So we're having exponential growth with single families as well, doing 1031 exchanges
Yeah.
and really looking at from those at a model of being able to level up with a 1031 exchange and buying small to medium sized apartments, put it long-term debt on it, and just hold it forever.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, you got to use different strategies to accomplish it. Whenever you have downturns or different, because right now it's not a, uh, it's not a multifamily doesn't have the best reputation right at this moment. But there's people that are going really hard on RV parks, for example, and talking about RV user, I think this is great. There's being RV parks, man, that first of all, I pay almost $250 a month just to park my RV
Wow.
there. And the moment that I rent that thing, Jeff, I looked on the website, one of them had a waiting list. So then I found another one. There's in Richardson. I live in Carrollton. That was the closest one. And then I was like, oh yeah, so $250 a month. So sign up. And when I got there, oh yeah, here's your gate code, and this is where you park. No interaction whatsoever. It's just literally a gigantic carport, and you just park underneath.
Wow.
That's it.
That's amazing.
I was like, man, I gotta get into
Give
this
me some of
business,
those, right?
man. I was like, this is the easiest business ever because there's no overhead, and it's we have multifamily, operations and all that stuff, dealing with staff, dealing with tenants and whatever. If somebody doesn't pay the rent of those RV parks, they boot your car and they have all the rights to do X, Y, and Z. It's totally very interesting,
Yeah.
So I'm not the kind of guy that's gonna be here and no, just multifamily is the way to go. I'll never say that, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, it's great. There's lots of ways to make money.
100%. And how did you get into oil and gas? Is that something you're just doing passively, or
Yeah,
how does that
honestly,
work?
so I've just been a real geek around educations and read, somewhere over 400 books on investing, real estate, leadership, et cetera, personal development, and listened to all kinds of great podcasts, shows like The Real Grind.
Let's go.
So
There are people like you
that's
that are
right.
learning
Yeah,
for you,
man,
man.
I'm a sponge. I love hearing about other people's success stories, your journey, Talo, like everybody, And so, just learning. And so I listened to Rich Dad Radio show.
Yeah.
And on it, they
Amazing.
had Mike Maselli, who happens to be the CEO at Reef Oil and Gas in Richardson. And he is who Robert Kiyosaki actually invests with oil and gas. And so kind of the same thing. You've got a little bit of accelerated depreciation if they're doing any type of drilling.
Yeah.
So you save on your taxes right away. And then we're an oil dependent country. So, it can be very lucrative at that. It gives you a monthly cash flow once the wells are producing. But then also at the end, if they sell the wells, then you get all your money
Your
back
return.
plus more, similar to what you do in a multifamily deal.
Well, very cool, man. I'm actually interested. I think we put a lot of our funds into our businesses, but as we start going in cycles, I want to start expanding and venture off. And it's all about leveraging others. There's the fact that we can learn by listening to podcasts, reading books, but also talking to folks like yourself that's done it, right? And it's like, what is your experience? I was talking to an interview with Ford as well, and it's all about there's a lot of information out there. And one of the things that he said is like, since I started it, and now the investors people that are buying, they're a lot more sophisticated because there's a lot of information. If you want to like I said, podcasts, videos. If you want to change something on your car that you don't know, you YouTube it to figure it out, something tech, right? A camera or something. There's a lot of information, but sometimes we have to watch 10 videos to find out one good information is actually going to help you out. And I feel the same thing in anything in the world you want to do. It's better to go to having a mentor, somebody that's done it, or a friend or family,
Amen.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great. And the fact that you have all this experience. So, Jeff, how can people get in touch with you, man?
Yeah, absolutely. Excuse me. So you can go to our website. It's growpropertygroup.com. Or you can send us an email, Jeff at Grow Property Group or Carrie at Grow Property Group, or give us a call. Our number's on the website as well. So happy to connect.
Yeah, it's good to partner up, guys, with folks like Jeff, like other guests that come here on the podcast. Like I said, there's people that are done and being successful at it. It's all about that. Jeff, what is the growth for you for the next 5 years, man?
Yeah, no, thanks so much. Super excited. We're doing a lot of different things. And again, with networking and partnerships with great people like yourself. And, we'll be continuing to, like I said, buy additional. We're doing a lot with our single families. We're also being aggressive with multifamilies. We're underwriting and exploring self-storage as well. We've got some other great friends of ours that really do a phenomenal job with the storage. And I just think that's another, with all the people moving to Texas and living in
People got shit
apartments.
to storage,
You gotta,
man.
you gotta
know
have
what I mean?
some place to put all these things, man.
Tell me who never got a storage, at least for a short period of time, but had
yeah.
to have one, right?
100%. Yeah. So we're continuing to do those types of things while making sure that we're living our best life and having good quality time. Because I think, if we go work 100 hours a week right now and miss our kids finishing up the last 4 years of school and we miss out on that, we can't get that back.
100%.
You know what I mean?
That's
So
a
it's all
great
about
point.
like, hey, how can you control your ambition and like make sure you've got your right balance and number of hours that you can do per week so that you're having great quality of life with your family,
Right.
and taking care of yourself as well.
I love asking that question about what's your growth or the 5 years, because you see, the passion, about business. But I love, when people, like you should describe, like I want to enjoy the journey, I want to enjoy my kids. I read this thing that talked about you only have a certain amount of summers with your kids before they moved out, right? My
Yeah.
kids now, it's the 3 and 5. If we ask her, I'm 5.5. She's almost 6, but it's just going by so fast, and now I'm everything is daddy's, mommy, their love, but I know this is gonna end, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like we have from our parents. They're gonna do their own interests. They're gonna have their own friends. Obviously, we always be here for them, but it's just like the enjoyment part, and that's what made me personally to put a little, not stop, but just be aware. To be conscious that hey, I have to do what I have to do to grow, to scale, but I have to be also aware of my family, not to lose them. And I see you do that stuff, man, because multiple times when we talked this today, and the other times I was mentioning about that, your family. I think one of your daughters going to college or something.
Yeah, they're a couple years out, but we've only got really 2 summers left for sure that they're going to be there. So we try to put everything we can into the summer. Held off on doing any of our meetups this summer, just to make sure
Be
that
intentional.
we're spending as much time as we can with the kids. Took a number of trips and just had a heck of a time. It was really a blast.
Amazing, man. Amazing. So we're going to ask you some questions, man. The audience wants to know a little bit about you. This is the Spilling the Beans with Jeff. What would you rather have? Mondays off or Fridays off?
Fridays off.
Fridays off. So you're not a F Monday guy. Music or podcast?
Podcast.
Summer new or old favorite?
Old favorite.
The
New.
place. New, like to try new. Time or money?
Both. Time. 10
10-mile run or 50-mile cycling?
10-mile run.
You're a running guy? All right. Texas or Ohio?
Texas, baby.
Let's go!
Let's go.
Sleeping and work late or get up early and get off work early?
Oh, man. I do both. Jeez.
Well, that's all he's got, his wife, right?
Get up early.
Appreciate it, man. It's Spilling the Beans with Jeff. Jeff, that was an amazing story. Thank you so much for being here, man. You had a lot of, I feel people that read a lot and self-growth a lot, invest in a lot, that has a lot to give. What would you give it advice for somebody that is starting out in this industry of investing in real estate? What would you have to say? Piece of advice.
Yeah, absolutely. So the very first thing is to get educated. So decide what you want to learn about and learn as much as you can. Whatever way your preferred method of learning is, whether it's, watching videos, podcasts, listening to things. If it's reading, it's reading, movies, going to events, networking with people that are already doing it, so you can vet or make sure that that's really something that you want to do. And then you need to make sure that you've got a proven track record or following a true track record or proven method. So like from a mentor, right? So you've got to know that a way that you're going to go, because you want to make sure that, number one, your money's going to grow and you don't lose it, which is Warren Buffett's number one rule: don't lose money.
Don't lose ever.
Absolutely. And so you want to make sure your money's growing. You do that by education, and then by learning from other people that have already done it and see how they do it, and then partner with them.
100%. That's a great advice. I love the component that we all for each other. We're all a team. You know what I mean? Even though, if you think about it, we, in a way, in a multifamily, we're competitors.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I love it in this industry, and I met great people such as yourself, but a lot of people that they're just willing to give and partner up and do things together and share information for everybody to grow together. It's great.
Absolutely, I agree.
Thanks so much for coming to the show, man.
Hey,
thanks for the
a million,
friendship
buddy.
as well.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Let's go.
Let's go.
This is the Real Grind, guys.
And as always, thank you so much for watching another episode of The Real Grind. For you watching on YouTube, Facebook, thank you so much. For you listening on your favorite podcast platforms such as Spotify, Apple Music, thank you for listening. This episode is sponsored by F Monday. This is where all the great coffee that you see on The Real Grind will be at. So fmonday.com, that's where we at. Go check it out. Go order some coffee or some cool merch. You're not gonna regret. And as always, thank you for watching, for supporting, for sharing, because this is The Real Grind. We wouldn't do it without y'all. See you on the next one.
Waking up to success, now we getting it started. This is the real grind. Everything you've been wanting, building an empire, no question. Talking about real estate, investing, making the millions, no stopping. While we sip on gourmet coffee, the real grind.